Right. Good evening, and welcome to Conversations with Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Alethia Brown, and welcome to the 18th day of Black History. So tonight we have our panel of entrepreneurs, and this week is Entrepreneur Spotlight. So we want to see how everybody's doing tonight. Julie, how are you doing?
I am doing good. How you doing, Alethea? Hey, gang. How are you all doing?
Hey, Shanell, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing well, doing well. Good to see everybody.
And Deon.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Julie, I wanted to say I'm blessed and lightly salted. Is this a new popcorn? Did I just give you a new popcorn name?
Blessed and highly favored.
Highly salted.
Maybe lightly.
That? Did I say lightly salted? I said lightly salted. You know what I'm. You know what I'm
Sea salt.
Into the show. There
sea
we go.
Salt.
There.
Sea salt.
Into the show.
Not Lowry's.
Yeah, Lowry's for the whatever. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm happy to see everybody. Just want to highlight some of my week.
It is always great when we get together. And so we also want to acknowledge, even though this segment is about Entrepreneur Spotlight, this is also Entrepreneurship Week. And so we want to kind of keep that mode going and give you more information about what that means. So let's get started. First, we want to spotlight Julie Logan. Julie, tell them why we're spotlighting you tonight.
Hello. Thank you, Alethea. So, as many of you may know and may not know, I just launched my company, Popcorn Heaven, here in the Steel Creek area, and I may have to come back to you because I just had customers walk through the door. So I'll be right back.
What a great problem you have, Julie.
Yes. That's a good thing. So business is booming for Julie already. So we'll let her get back to us. So Shanell, why don't you tell the audience about you and your company and what you're doing?
Absolutely. I was actually looking forward to hearing all about Julie's latest endeavors, but we'll get back to her in a second. So I'm Shanell Varner, and I'm the founder and CEO of Moonglade Travel, and we are a luxury travel consulting company. We are full service. However, we do specialize in romantic getaways. So we do tons of anniversaries and honeymoons and those nice vacations. I know all of us are coming off of Valentine's Day weekend. And we also specialize in women's wellness journeys. And what those are intentional trips that we take as women to really reset, refuel, and rejuvenate ourselves. So high level overview of what we're doing. And, you know, we've shared how last year was, you know, a game changer for the travel industry, as many, and in addition to many other industries. But one of the things that we've pivoted, or one of the ways that we've pivoted is, and this is hot off the press and there's really not much hotness into it, but I'll just put a little plug out there that in response to, you know, how things have changed in the world of travel, a lot of people aren't traveling like they used to. Travel looks a lot different now. I've seen a lot of my clients traveling more domestic, so a lot of road trips and local trips. However, it's happening and it's doable. And I think I've proved that. I think I've been somewhere every month since the pandemic, 3 times internationally and several domestic trips. However, people are traveling. So one of the things that we're looking to do later this year is to launch a travel essentials shop. So that way, if you're going to travel anyway, at least you're traveling smart and safe with all of some of my top must travel items and accessories. So more to come on that. But that's kind of what's happening in my world right now.
Awesome, Shanell. Thank you so much. I believe it's going to pick up. We're always waiting for the video where Shanell just living vicariously through Shanell's Instagram and Facebook posts.
I can't sit down. And it's good. I mean, we've talked about how travel, for me, it's part of self-care. It's about, you know, maintaining my sanity and my mental health. And it's been tough, you know, being on lockdown and quarantine for what we're approaching a year next month.
Yeah.
And so it's really good to be able to get out your own environment, see some nice places, and it's doable. Like I said, there are several restrictions in place, but there also are a lot of safety protocols that a lot of destinations and hotels are putting into place. So sometimes I feel safer traveling than I do right here in my own city. So
I see a Moonglade Travel essential package,
Yeah.
like a little
hmm,
travel package,
Yeah.
like a nice little Moonglade travel bag that you can send out to
okay,
people. I can see that. The
I
official
like
Moonglade
that.
Travel
Put
essentials.
that down.
And how do you know? Because you travel every
I use
month.
them. I do it
So you
exactly.
know, so you
Yep.
know exactly what you're
Yep.
gonna need. I can see that right on your website.
Okay, Jeff, you always come up with these great ideas, but it's true, and that's kind
It's
of what
very true.
started
Mm-hmm.
what us to launch this shop is because I call myself the carry-on queen. I do not check a bag. I don't care where I'm going, how long I'm going to be there. I do not check bags. I solely travel in a carry-on, and I do it very strategically. And they're very, there's certain items that I need to have to make sure that I can pack efficiently and maximize my luggage capacity during my trip. So that's kind of what sparked it. I mean, everything that we do, whether it's planning a trip or giving out travel tips and advices based on things that we've experienced. I travel with my three young children. I travel with my husband. I travel with my family. Sometimes it's 20 of us traveling together. And I know what that's like. And I know, I don't want to call them travel hacks, but just how to travel with a purpose and to travel smart. And then now safely. So,
I would love to see a video of you traveling with a carry-on bag, so I can take notes and see how to do it.
Jeff, I was gonna add to what you said and say, maybe Shanell should just chronicle it, you know, on her
oh, on
YouTube channel.
my blog, I know Jeff. I know that's where you're going, Jeff.
That's
I get the
exactly where I was
plugs.
going.
I get the
Yeah,
plugs that you're
yeah.
making. But on my travel blog, I do share those tips on how to pack. I call it pack like a pro or travel like a pro, and
What's your
share those
blog? What's the name
various
of your
tips.
blog? What's the name of your blog?
You can check it out. Our travel blog is on moongladetravel.com.
Thank
Lots of
you.
good stuff. And I actually just put out a recent post about our trip to Puerto Rico we took in October. Lots of protocols there in response to COVID. We just came back from Turks and Caicos in December. Lots of protocols there. That blog post will be out later this week. And most recently, I listed out a lot of the entry protocols or entry requirements for several Caribbean destinations. So you can check that out as well to see what you have to do to be able to enter some of these countries if you are going to travel.
That's cool. So we'll share that on the Conversations with Entrepreneurs Facebook as well, so everybody will be able to find Shanell. And thanks, Shanell, for putting that plug out there about it's been almost a year since the pandemic started. Because of this pandemic, it's been almost a year that this podcast has started. And so we're going to be looking forward to coming up with a creative way to celebrate our first anniversary as Conversations with Entrepreneurs. So that's going to be great. So while we're still waiting for Julie to come back and finish hers, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which way am I going to go? I want Deon to wait until later because Deon has a lot that he needs to tell us, and I want to give him ample time to do it. So I'm going to go to you, Jeff. Not to say you don't have a lot to say. I'm just saying.
Oh no, that's fine. And I'm not gonna go long because I want to hear what Deon has to say also, and of course Julie.
Mm.
So I'm Jeff White, and I have two companies. Actually, I have Jeff White Fitness Solutions, and Yes We Did LLC. And I'll just spotlight the Yes We Did tonight. What I'm focusing on is education and things that's not discussed in school. With Black History Month, I do have Black History camps that I do, which all of you guys have sponsored, which I want to thank you very much for that. But it's basically the fact of the matter is Black history should be taught year round. Unfortunately, it's not. And so it's up to us to teach our history. And so I have camps. They're 60-minute long. There are 4 sessions per camp in the fall. And in the summer, I boost it up to 5. So it's a really fun way to talk about history. My 8-year-old son, he's involved. He participates in the camp. We have crafts. And what we do is we just like to talk about things that you may not know about some of our amazing people. And it's basically a way to inspire all of us, to let us know that all the hardships that we've gone through and that we continue to go through, but we have been persevering for decades and hundreds of years, and we will continue to do so. So, that's what it's all about. It's all about just knowledge of self, motivation and inspiration, and just to let all of us know that we've done some amazing things and we will continue to do so. And part of the problem is, unfortunately, our history is not only not talked about, but when it is talked about, it's slightly distorted.
Yeah.
Because it's being told from a different perspective. Sometimes that perspective is not in our best interest. It's for someone else's interest. Maybe they want to tone down some of the things that really happen, but unfortunately, we need to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to know the truth. And the more of you know of the truth, the phrase, the truth will set you free is real. And that can really just change your whole perspective in your whole life and just motivate you to become the best you can be. So that's what it's all about. It's all about just knowledge of self and just basically, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too. Because at the end of each, camp or each day, we focus on the positive and try to inspire you and get you excited. Like, wow, that was amazing what they did. They went through hardships, but look how they came out on top. So that's what it's all about. And then, of course, I have the entrepreneur camp for kids as well, because I think that's something that's very important that we need to discuss. That's not taught in school, but basically, let's give kids opportunity to know that they have the ability to start their own businesses. There's nothing wrong with working for someone else. We've all done it. There's nothing wrong with that, but at least know you have the option of starting your own as well. So, that's a kidpreneur camp as well.
Yeah, I've seen some posts on LinkedIn. A young man started his own food truck business, and what his parents did is started just putting a little thing up like a Kool-Aid stand out in front of the house, and then it just expanded into that. So entrepreneurship is definitely something we need to look forward to and know more information about. And it is your Black History webinars that inspired me to focus on our Black History for Conversation with Entrepreneurs Month is literally showing the little known Black entrepreneur history that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people doing Black history, they talk about the movers and the shakers, but these are movers and shakers too behind the scene. And so if you follow our Conversation with Entrepreneurs Facebook page and our Instagram page, you'll start seeing more about entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneur history, different things that they were able to accomplish after the Civil War. And it makes you want to sit back and say, okay, if they were able to do that after the Civil War and emancipation, all this other stuff, why aren't we better at doing it now? And so I hope that if you're tuning in on Facebook and Instagram, you're enjoying those posts and that wealth of knowledge that we're sharing with you. So Julia says she's connecting to audio, so I'm not sure she's back yet. So I'll just do my quick showcase real quick. So Alethia Brown with Mahogany Productions. Currently working on some different projects, but right now I'm working on a true story Black history documentary. And so it's about Warren Clay Coleman. Warren Clay Coleman was the wealthiest man in North Carolina after the Civil War. And so one of the taglines that I put for the documentary is, in the era of Booker T. Washington, before there was a Madam C.J. Walker, there was a Warren Clay Coleman, because he was part of that group that Madam C.J. Walker was getting to try to boost her company and her sales, because all these Black men were going around the country and, getting Black men to be entrepreneurs. He was part of that council with Booker T. Washington to go around and go into different states, helping Black men become entrepreneurs. But his footprint here in North Carolina, which is now known as Concord, but it used to be Buffalo Creek, is he started and built the first textile mill in the United States. And so in the 200 and something slaves in the area that were freed, those were the people he employed and built houses for them to live in. He also had a general store, and I found out too that if anyone ever visits Charlotte, the big Concord Mills Mall, well, that mall was part of his property where he had all these different stores and stuff. And there's a plaque inside of that mall when you go in there that's in honor of him. I haven't found it yet. That's a big old mall to walk through, but I'm looking for the plaque. And as soon as I get a picture of it, I will definitely be posting it on the Conversation About Entrepreneurs. So that's one of the projects I'm really proud of that I'm working on right now. So I should be premiering a trailer in a couple of weeks. And I'm looking forward to that. He built a cemetery for all of the veterans from the Civil War. So a lot of the people that were killed in the Civil War, especially Black people that were killed in the Civil War, that historic cemetery still exists today. And so the author of the book that I found out about his story with, he's going to be giving more information about that and all the history and just everything that he left behind. There's even a street that runs through Concord now that says Warren Coleman Boulevard, and it runs several miles in Concord. So I'm excited about this project and can't wait to bring more information to you guys about it. So let me see. It says Julie is connecting to her audio. I think maybe.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good to know. And see, we walk right around greatness, don't even realize it.
Exactly.
Right, literally, we walk right past it, don't even realize the significance and history of it. And I think if we can see it, that would really help. You know, even I won't even say our self-esteem, but just can motivate us, because sometimes we see stuff on TV, it seems so far away. But if we can walk right past something that we know our ancestors did and it's right there in front of us and it's still amazing, that can really inspire us.
Yeah.
So I think that's fantastic. So I hope you can find that.
Say that again, Jeff?
I hope we can find it. Hope you can find that plaque.
Yeah.
We need a theme song for when Julie is officially about to come on, because we waiting. I say like Summer Madness, you know, like the first 10 seconds, or maybe that old Juvenile song, back that up, you know, the first 10 seconds of that, you know, because it gets you crunk. It's like, oh, here she come.
Good song, Jeff.
Bam!
Good song.
Shanell, which one you like?
I think
Which
I'm
one
gonna
you
go
prefer?
with Juvenile. I'm definitely gonna go with that. That gets my
Exactly.
vote.
See, we waiting on Connect Audio. We don't know when she's coming. When we officially know, we hear that theme song, and it's like, okay, here she come. So
Too
we'll
funny.
let her know. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have to
every time.
work on that.
Alethia, I think that's great. Well, you too, Jeff, what you're doing, you know, sharing these historic stories about Black people. I mean, we don't, if it's not in that history book, you know, the one that omits a lot of things from it, we don't really hear about them. So kudos to both of you guys to really being intentional about finding these stories and being able to share them with people and educate people about our history. So I think that's awesome. Alethia, what you got going on this week? Did I miss that announcement?
Thursday, I am having what I am calling my first annual Black History Month event. And I will have the author of the book about Warren Clay Coleman there. And I will also be discussing the documentary about Warren Clay Coleman, but I'll also be discussing about my current project that's in pre-production forever because of the pandemic, of Daisy Myers. So Daisy Myers and her husband was the first Black family to move into an all-white neighborhood in Levittown, Pennsylvania in 1957. The racial tension that they suffered through for several months led to a lot of the housing discrimination laws that we have on the books now. And I met her daughter back in 2017. So I wrote a script about that, but we were scheduled to start production in the UK, but the pandemic kind of slowed that down significantly. Right now, it's like you were saying, Shanell, we can't even think about traveling there unless we're vaccinated, because now the UK is requiring we're vaccinated before we come over there and showing proof in 72 hours of a negative COVID test. So meanwhile, while that's on hold because of the pandemic and some of the revisions to the miniseries script, I'm focused on this documentary just to keep productions rolling in the company. So it's, again, throughout this pandemic, there's been so much progress in so many different ways for all of us. And I keep going back to that confinement. You know, what are you accomplishing in these times of confinement? What are you doing? It may seem like this is not a good time to start a business, but if you're listening to any of the stories, especially if you listen to the one last week with the gentleman from the Allen Boys Creations food truck, you know, he started that and it has been very successful for him during the pandemic last year. So he's going into, you know, this summer being like a year of him starting what turned out to be a very thriving business. So it is possible, even when it seems like things are going wrong, for things to turn out just right. But
Hey,
just
you know
don't
what they
happen
say?
the wrong way.
You know what they say? Out of chaos comes opportunity.
Yes.
It's a perfect segue for Deon. A lot of times people they see things are not going right and they think, oh, woe is me. But if you sit back and look, you might see some amazing opportunities for you that never existed before. Like with you, Shanell, like I was saying with the little video and little stuff like that, that's opportunity because now people are clamoring for something, you know? So yeah, it's amazing. That's how I start the Black History camps. People are home. They need something to do. So it's like, let me start these camps. They're home. I know a lot of people tired of Zoom. I get that, but people are still home and they need something to keep themselves occupied, you know? So yeah.
Now it's like all these little different things you do is sometimes it's not what you know or who you know sometimes, right? And that's not in is you know, someone is smarter, but it's like-minded people, right? So if you surrounding yourself around people with a doubting, you that's gonna fall apart. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Then that's not the person you need in your ear, right? That's just because they can't see themselves doing it. And we've said this several times, and Jeff has said it too over the course of this us doing this podcast is have to be around like-minded people. The naysayers is just seeing what they can't do. They really can't dictate what you can't do. The only person that can stop your success is you. You put your mind to it, and you know sometimes you have to be willing to sacrifice the financial process of it as well to get yourself going, but don't give up on it. That sounds like somebody knocking on the door.
Is that Morse code?
Yeah, like, you know, help. Send help now.
Might be popcorn popping, all we know.
Oh, is that popcorn?
Yeah,
Popping?
popcorn popping.
Hey Julie, we have a theme song for you, so we know you coming on. I'm gonna let Deon tell
Okay.
you what it is.
I didn't agree to it, Julie. I swear I didn't agree to it.
Shanell agreed to it
Okay.
though.
I didn't agree.
So we just letting you know we got a
Let's hear
theme
it.
song for when you come on.
It teeter, Julie, it teeters on praise and worship, depending on where you at. I mean, you know, it's kind of,
In your journey.
it's up to the, yes, Jeff, it's up to the interpreter, the theme song. So, you know, we'll probably tell you about it later.
Right.
We got 2 theme songs for you to choose from. So just to let you know, because you're gonna be popping in and out. We need to know when you coming back on. So that's all.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, you see what I deal with here on a weekly basis. You see how some treat me. Can't wait to hear it.
Look, they know we love you, Julie.
I love y'all too.
Okay, Julie, so glad you had a customer while you was in the middle of the podcast.
I had 2.
Oh, wow, that's even better. That's even better. So whenever you're ready to continue on, the stage is yours.
All righty. So once again, I am Julie Logan, owner and operator of Popcorn Heaven. We just did our grand opening on this past Saturday, February the 13th, with a ribbon cutting here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are located at 10720 South Tryon Street, Suite C, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28273, in the South Point Village Shopping Center. What else am I supposed to say?
Well, I mean, just the whole feeling. I mean, I was there for the grand opening and just having
It was,
okay.
yeah, so it was just so surreal. It was so awesome just to have your friends there to really support you. First time having a commercial business, and when people say they're going to support you on social media, you sometimes take that with a grain of salt. You don't really know if they will or not. Well, on this Saturday, I had friends that helped me behind the counter. I had friends that's helping me in front of the counter. I had friends bagging up popcorn, putting labels on bags. Alethia was one of them, her and her daughter, Tassie. So I want to publicly say thank you for both Saturdays, for coming on and helping us with the pre-launch as well as the grand opening on this past Saturday. It's friends like her that you need in your life. When they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. But really what got me was I wasn't expecting as many people that showed up because of the rain and cold on Saturday. It was freezing on Saturday and rained all day long. But according to my POS system, it said I had approximately 140 something people that came through in one day.
Yeah.
In one day. In one day. From the time that we opened till about 5:30-ish is when it started to slow down a little bit. The traffic was just consistent, and it was all of people who said that they were coming out, and so it was overwhelming, a happy overwhelming, because I wanted to cry and to see the people coming in. We had a popcorn bar where we were serving up sparkling grape juice. Wasn't the real deal, with some samples of popcorn that would, enlighten their taste buds so that when they got up to the display to order, then they would be able to have a taste of what it was like, a taste of popcorn heaven, if you will. And so, so it was really, 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 really good. I'm so thrilled. I'm excited. Just looking forward to the many blessings that are yet to come.
So, Julie, you want to speak on real quick what Bishop said?
Say it one more time.
You want to speak on real quick what Bishop said? And his
Wait a minute, hold on. Say it again.
You want to touch base real quick on what Bishop had said in his prayer about the sort of like the planting seed?
Yes. So my bishop, I asked my bishop from the Park Church in Charlotte, North Carolina, Claude Richard Alexander Jr., to come and pray over the store, over me, over the whole property, if you will, as part of the ribbon cutting. And because of the rain, he shared with us that when he got married, I believe he said that it was also raining on that day. And he says what that means to him is that when you're planting seeds, when you begin to plant seeds, you have to have rain to water them. Now, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said some stuff much deeper than that. And of course, when he said that, I was like, oh God, I just burst out and crying. And so it was just confirmation that what I have embarked on was really, where it needed to be. I love popcorn connoisseur, can eat it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But to embark on a commercial brick and mortar is another ball game. During COVID, it's another ball game. And to really see the seeds that were planted, the people that came through that were sowing, that were buying double tins, double bags of popcorn. And, for example, if they bought something and I gave them change, they had change back, they said, keep it. Those were the type of things that was happening on Saturday. And so I just raised my hand and just say, thank you, God, just for the blessings and just for the people in my life. And so
I can say I couldn't keep the labels on the bags. I was constantly going in the stock, Jack. It was like, wait a minute, what? Okay, let me make some more bags. It was all labels. So it was really nice to see. Like she said, everyone just showed up and showed out. And it was an amazing day. And I was glad as a family, as friends, I was there to share it with us. Yep. It was so cool. It was so cool. And I got my tin with my refill sticker in the top. I sure did.
I bet your customer service is excellent too.
It is.
I'm sure it is. I know your customer service is great because you're a people person. So I'm sure that just comes through. Yeah.
That was the main thing. If nothing else, wanted people to just walk away feeling happy. Their taste buds feeling satisfied, but most of all, just feeling happy that when they came through the door and leaving, that their experience was number one. And so we will continue. We're not perfect, but we'll continue to strive to get better day by day. And, if people continue to give us feedback, the customers, I've heard someone say, listen to your customers because they'll tell you exactly what they want. And so that's what we plan to do.
And tell them about your Facebook page too, because the customers were willing to take pictures and everything. So tell them about that.
Oh gosh. So we have a special area of the wall of the store where we can take pictures, and everyone taking videos, taking pictures as they were going out the door with their products in their hand, and had no reservations about posting it to social media. So when I was able to see straight and was able to lay down after the day, I was able to read some comments through the social media where people were sharing it. When 1 or 2 people were sharing it, then 2 more people started sharing it, and 2 more people started sharing it. And then before I knew it, someone had shared it with the Black Business BBOC group on Facebook, I believe it was. And also what I wanted to make sure of is people were in the store. Several doors down from me is another store, and it's called Tryon Dollar Store. And it is owned by a husband and wife African-American couple. So the wife came into the store to buy some popcorn. When I recognized her with the mask on, I stopped everybody and I said, listen, here's another Black-owned business owner here in my store supporting me. Their store is just a couple of doors down. Please go and visit their store. Well, this lady did, and she posted it on Instagram, I believe it was Instagram or Facebook, that said within the same shopping plaza, you got two Black-owned businesses side by side. And so for me, it's all about sharing and lifting others up. It's great that you come in to get popcorn, but also support what's down the street as well, too.
I wonder if you could sell some of your popcorn in her store, like by the counter, like small little things of popcorn for $1, right there at the counter. You know how you go to Walmart and you see all that stuff right there by the counter, stuff you don't need, and you buy it. What if you could do that in her store? What if y'all could find an agreement where you could sell just little small containers of $1?
Around them, sit them right there to register. Yeah,
that's a great idea, Jeff.
Know.
I mean, worth having the conversation know, about. And so, yeah.
Give her a small little cut, and hey.
You'd be surprised at what people will do for $1.
That's true, Deon.
I'm going on mute on that one.
Julie, I think that's so important. I think, and you made a really good point, just about word of mouth. Like we've never done paid advertisement for Moonglade Travel. My clients are my walking billboards. They're repeat clients, or same thing, they're sharing about their experience with us on social media. They're telling their friends and family. And to me, that's valuable. That's priceless. You know, for someone to say, I've done business with Shanell in this organization and they are a bomb. They, you know, whatever the case may be and their experience may be. And especially now, people are more apt to purchase from or do business with someone who is personally recommended to them. So continue to, you know, do what you're doing. You're doing an excellent job, and that's going to continue to happen in your area, in everybody's area. I think that's critical for us.
Yeah. Thank you, Shanell. I really appreciate that.
Awesome. So Shanell, I know you have to leave a little earlier, so I'm going to jump to Deon and let him get a little bit in case you got any questions or anything for him about that. Deon, the stage is yours. And Julie, we are so happy for you and so proud of you.
Yes.
She is the Conversations with Entrepreneurs Spotlight of the day.
Hey. Yeah.
And we'll be
Q's theme music. I just felt like her theme music would have been perfect right there, right?
Yeah, we gonna get that. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
I can't wait to hear this theme music.
I think you can. You can.
When you hear it, you're gonna say, maybe we can go back to the drawing board. Right.
Yeah.
So we're sharing the link to your Facebook page on the Conversation with Entrepreneurs page too, Julie.
Yeah.
Hi, Deon.
Well, I am, first of all, I want to say, tell everybody, thank you so much for all of your expertise. And I'm talking to the panel. I miss you guys when I'm not with you. I learn from you every single time I'm with you. And it's also a very pleasant conversation too. So thank you so much. Kudos to everybody in doing that. Jeff is like the master Shanell is our professional. I do mental health, but what Shanell does, the physicality of vacationing, the going away literally, it has a whole nother therapy to it. Alethia, the master organizer and putting stuff together, and Julie, the hustler entrepreneur of the year. I mean, like right in the middle, and our show, you know, you go take care of business right in our show at your brand new shop with your brand new popcorn from heaven that's popping, and Bishop Claude then prayed over. And listen, like Bishop Claude said, everything goes through a little rain. That's the only way it's gonna grow. Absolutely. It's got to. So kudos and congratulations, and thank y'all so much for everything you do for me personally, even through this trying time and just the transition. You know, one of the things, so I'm Deon Jones. My stuff I do is a believer consult. I work in mental health. I've done it all in mental health. I've worked in people's homes, and I've worked in prisons. I've worked in people's schools, and I've worked in nursing homes, and I've worked in hospitals, and I've worked in other facilities that, you know, group homes, and in every gamut of it. I've worked with juvenile sex offenders. I've worked with adult sex offenders. I've been an employment specialist for people that have a record longer. I'm about 5'8" on my great day, and they're longer. The record's longer than me, and you have to facilitate these people establishing relationships and getting jobs and facilitating life and stuff like that. So I've done so much in mental health. And recently my father passed away, and because of the results of it, I have to do some things relative to my mother. My entrepreneurial journey has just taken a hard left. And I love this forum and this platform because to every entrepreneur that's way more successful than anybody on the panel, or somebody that's trying to learn how to do it, all of this stuff you're gonna need. You're gonna need all of this stuff. And so my entrepreneurial journey has taken a hard left. There's gonna be some changes made immediately. And so some of the things that I have had to employ is taking care of my own mental health, you know, taking care of my own mental health. This is a couple of notes I made. When the entrepreneur changes, diversity, remember this, diversity becomes you. It becomes you. It looks good on you, diversity. This is a time of diversity. And whatever you're creative in, you might want to try, if you can play basketball or you can coach basketball, try that. You can play baseball, try that too. Do both of them. Diversify. Do all you can do. You all don't know this about Julie, but Julie's an amazing singer that now has a heavenly popcorn stand, because you have to employ every part of you. And some of these unexpected changes, they're going to call on it. This is another thing that came to me, Jeff. I thought about all you all when this, because this thought, I really had it. When unexpected change comes for you on your entrepreneurial journey, do not be prideful, and do not be stubborn, and do not have blinders on. And you're going to tread the field no matter what, and you're going to do exactly what you're thinking. Be creative. Jeff was talking about earlier, like chaos brings opportunity. Absolutely, it does. Be creative. Inventions, they really, they're not things that are new. They're things that are newly put together. One piece has been here, another piece has been here, but someone got creative and inventive and innovative, and they put the light inside the lamp and created a different product for someone to buy, purchase, and sell, and things of that nature. Do not, when unexpected change happens for you, do not be prideful. Do not have blinders on and forge ahead like in a no matter what, I'm going to make it happen and things like that. Those things will create other mental health issues for you. Those things will keep you stagnant. Those things will change your customer service, like we were just mentioning relative to Julie. And you'll mix business and personal the wrong way. And it is not. This is something that really helped me. in a moment like what I'm having now, because some of my income is going to change, and the opportunity is gonna be made for, just the things I've been doing already, making a way, coming up with an idea, thinking of how to do something else with what we're doing. Strengthen somebody else's stuff. Absolutely. Strengthen someone else's stuff. You'll be amazed. Shanell mentions this all the time about the connections you can make like that, And in a moment where your entrepreneurial journey has taken a hard left for whatever reason, mine was unexpected death. I had to go into savings. I had to rearrange my schedule a certain way. I had to rearrange, and that rearranging my schedule, I mean, I had to rearrange the monies that come in from that schedule, right? Because I have to be in place for my mother and all these other kinds of things. Strengthen other people's things. Look to not to just recoup what you lost, because you need to do that too, and nothing's wrong with that. Recoup, I like what Julie said. The owner is in the other owner's store supporting the other owner. You want to recoup, but you want to make connections. You want to continue making connections and things of that nature. Yes, me too. And you want to make those connections, and because you never know where they're going to take you, especially after you've taken this hard left on your journey.
Deon, we want to say goodnight to Shanell because Shanell has to leave us. So we want to give her a chance to do her last word right quick before she jump off.
Yes.
Y'all are so dope. I don't know. Can that be it? Is that it? Period. End of show. Good night, everybody. But one thing that stuck with me, Julie, is just that cultivation. I got married, and when I tell you it was raining, thundering, wind blowing, it was a horrible, horrible day weather-wise, but it was the best day of my life. And I know that and believe what your bishop said, that's what comes, it's cultivation. Anything you plant, you have to take care of it to grow. You're gonna have to remove those weeds, you're gonna have to water it, you're gonna have to do all those things to it in order for it to grow and cultivate. So that's my word of the night.
Bye, Shanell.
Bye.
Bye, Shanell.
So Deon, I agree with you 100%. And it's a lot. I know what you're going through, and that's a lot to contend with and still, maintain running your business.
Yeah, it is. It really is, fam. And it's been right now too, Jeff and Julie and Alethia, there have been some added responsibilities right now that are not, they're not income. They're not income. As a matter of fact, they are debits more than they are incomes. You know what I mean? So, and it's just it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. And all of us here right now, and even Shanell, I know she had to jump off. We've all had to do it before. We've all had to do it before. There were some things that came up, and I really just appreciate having a holistic conversation about being entrepreneurial, and even Julie, like realizing the property. Entrepreneurs are very familiar with home-based. In church they call it a storehouse. It's both. It's a house and a store. You know what I mean? So we and so when you move into commercial properties and things of that nature, what a major, huge accomplishment. And again, so thankful for you. And but this is the whole journey. This is the whole journey. I like being able to expose all of the principles. And because of what I do, it started with my own mental health, because I'm trying to keep a certain amount of income and things of that nature while grieving, while mourning, while being strong for others and stuff like that, And so you have to take care of you in every single sense of the manner. And again, don't be prideful, be inventive and creative, and strengthen, find. I got a whole panel of friends I can strengthen. So strengthen somebody else's stuff. You know what I mean? Strengthen someone else's stuff, and it'll help you with those connections and just moving to the next part of your journey in your entrepreneurship.
So, Deon, I definitely get that part, because I think was the difference with me being in film. So I'm trying to find these projects that I can produce that will ultimately get out there to the public and at some point create revenue for Mahogany Productions, but at the end of the month, I am solely responsible for every cost of everything I do. And to just point over and over again, we say it all the time, multiple streams of income. Well, even as an entrepreneur, we'll struggle with multiple streams of income while we're trying to seed that one main base of what we want and what we hope to accomplish. For me, that is my feature film on a network, a Netflix or Amazon or wherever we can get it. But in the meantime, it is me sewing into myself so that I can get things accomplished, so people know who I am. I was speaking to the lady that owns the business that I'm doing my event with this week, and you know, it was like I had to realize, like, I'm the bank of me. So, you know, I have to stop being so much of an introvert so that I can get out there and people know me, so they'll know what I'm doing. And, you know, Facebook ads won't procure that all the time, if at all. You know, yeah, you get 400 and some people to like it or view the link, but then what? Right? And so, you know, you have to get out there. And so that's me, that's my shell that I find myself in. You know, exactly what you was talking about, Deon. But again, I'm not giving up on it.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
I'm way too close now to be trying to turn around.
Right.
I'm gonna have gray hair on the side and the front and everything by the time I get where I want to go. But that's gonna be okay, because then I'll say I did it. You know, so nothing's gonna happen overnight. So don't give up. You know, can you get discouraged? Yes, I get discouraged. But you know, again, like Jeff said, you know, I'm an author. I was an author and a screenwriter. Okay, let me finally get these books out. Get the dust off of the bunnies over here and get these books out. And no, I'm not dependent on people on Facebook to buy my books. You have these other outside companies. Yes, it's going to cost you, but they will promote you better than a Facebook or Instagram ad will, unless you just know thousands of people that are going to talk to you every day. I'm not one of those people. You know, I don't talk to that many people in a month, let alone the whole year. So, you know, you have to really investigate the best way to pursue the way that you can grow your business. And every industry is different. And mine is one of those. Mine is getting a project done, not talking about it, but finally shooting it and letting the world see what it is. And they make their determination then. Am I a good filmmaker or am I not? You know, and then I have to go from there. But I'm not going to give up on it, because I know there's something good in there. And if it turns out I'm not the one that should produce it, then as a filmmaker, I got to make that decision. Okay, so being a producer in it, but you're still a writer, girl, get that film out there, you know? And so that's what I have to deal with on a daily basis. So it's a different industry than everybody else on the panel. But again, the motivation that I get from everybody on the panel is the same. And it helps me pivot in the right direction. And occasionally it keeps the insomnia from coming up. I may go a week without it or something like that. But again, that's the cost too that you pay as an entrepreneur. Julie's going through that now too. You know, long hours. She has, you know, business is long hours, you know, but you balance it and you accomplish, you know, the things that you need to do to grow your business. You know, and she has.
But you know, the long hours, it's different when you work on long hours for something that you're passionate about and that you like to do. While it may be long, it's enjoyable. It's something that you love, something that you're passionate about. But I wanted to go back really quickly, if I could, about what something Deon said. You know, with all of the things that you're juggling, Deon, you're having to, I think, step up and do some things differently and shift some things around and all of that good stuff. But the key to all of this, and I know you know this, but I just need to say it anyway. The key to everything is don't do it by yourself. You can't, don't try to be Superman and be everything to everybody, because you can't. Allow other family members to step up to the plate to do some things that, you know, may be shifted to you. I've been there, done that, and I can speak from experience because I'm the youngest of 7. And when my mother passed, you know, the youngest, I stepped up and did a lot of her financials, took care of all of her bills and all that kind of stuff. But then tried to bring the family together. And, when you try to bring family together and, one person want to do this, one person want to do that, and nobody's ever satisfied and this and that. But at the end of the day, it's not about you, them, her, who, whatever. It's all about what your parent wanted and fulfilling their wishes. And as long as that is done, I could care less about somebody's feelings being hurt or whatever. I'm carrying out the wishes of those who cannot carry them out any longer, right? So, but then there comes a point where when things have to be done, you cannot do them by yourself. You got to get other people to do them. Start delegating stuff, because if you don't, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to wear yourself out. So don't know what all you have on your plate was shifting, but I just, something within me just said, don't try to carry all the weight on your shoulders by yourself.
Yeah, I really appreciate those words. I have been using this phrase a whole lot. We're going to do it by committee. Been using that phrase a whole lot, Julie. So you are right in the vein. You are right in the vein. I really appreciate your words and things of that nature. And listen, this is like an ode to Jeff and Black History Month and Black entrepreneurship and everything. My Black history person is Chris Gardner today. Chris Gardner. He is who
Pursuit
Will.
of Happiness.
Yes, sir. He is who Will Smith
His
played.
story is incredible. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely, Jeff. And you talking about chaos presenting opportunity? There you go, right there. A brother that had a whole son with him, homeless, and an idea that he was going to be successful. And there you go, right there.
Deon, when you said that, when I pitched the Coleman story to the investor that I pitched the Daisy Meyer story to, in my pitch, it was in the miniseries, so I want to lay it out, because of what I learned about the relationship his mother, even though she was a slave, that she had with his father, who was a Confederate general. I said it was the Lovings meets Pursuit of Happiness meets Madam C.J. Walker. That was William Coleman's life. That's the awesome way that the author tells it in his book and the research that I found online. And Julie, I want to get back to you, because I think you said that to Tati, because Tati says that to me all the time. And a lot of you probably don't even know how much of an impact she's been having on the successes of Mahogany Production going forward. The sacrifice she makes with me. So if there's family I can say they got my back, my Tati Cat is that person, through and through. And I love her to death for it. She's always getting, Mommy, you don't have to do this by yourself, And it's like, I'm so used to having to do it by myself. I am so glad that God blessed me with this amazing child that is so much more like her mother than I ever dreamed, but she's there and she has my back and she takes care of things. The event that we're doing on Thursday is because of what she sees in Mahogany Production, her support of it. So I agree with you, Julie. You got to have that person in Tati. I mean, y'all know I love my baby to death, but she is amazing. And she keeps me strong to continue to move on, not to give up on the stream. And I love that. I love that so much. Jeff, you've been kind of sort of quiet tonight. You just sitting in the back, taking it all in.
Yeah, I'm just listening. That's being respectful. Let people talk and get their words out, and and that's how you learn too. Exactly. I did have a couple things I want to say, and I know Deon is being pulled in a million directions, and Julie is too. Actually, you are too, Alethia. It's very important that we learn how to pace ourselves and get our rest. It's so funny because people would always ask me, which is more important, working out or getting sleep? And they say, and people, when you ask people that, they say, well, you got to work out every day. That's more important than sleep. And so then I ask them, okay, so if I've had people ask that. So then I ask them, okay, what can you go without? Can you go without sleep or go without exercise? Which one can you live without? And you cannot live without sleep. So all I'm saying is make sure you guys get your rest, mental rest and physical rest. You need that, because if you're not on top of your game, everything else is going to fall apart. So you got to get your rest. You got to make sure you eat healthy. You got to, like you say, delegate. You cannot do everything. And we talked about this before. One of the biggest reasons businesses fail is because people burn out, because they do too much and they just can't handle it. So you got to make sure you do that. So that's very important. So I just wanted to point that out, and just make sure you're getting your rest, because you guys are getting pulled. We all are, actually. You got to get your rest. One other thing that you guys say, so many things I want to talk about. So I'll just say this. A lot of entrepreneurs work a lot of long hours and they don't see the result of the money. The money comes on the back end. That's the difference between entrepreneurs and employees. Employees, when they work, they get that paycheck in 2 weeks. Entrepreneurs will work 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week and don't see the result. But see, the result is going to be on the back end. And a lot of times that back end result is going to be huge, and it reaps dividends for a whole lot longer. So if anyone out there who's thinking about being an entrepreneur, but they don't like the long hours that they work, you got to change your mindset, because it's going to come on the back end. You're working for a different type of, I wouldn't say you're working for money, but you're working for a different type of endeavor, and you're going to get paid well for it much later. Like Alethia, as you working on movies and things of that nature, you don't get paid for that movie until the movie comes out and things of that nature. I'll be up to 2 in the morning writing books or even blog posts, and I don't reap the benefit of that until, days, weeks, months later. So that's it.
That's so smart, Jeff.
You gotta do. Y'all know I'm the main one that got to push for sleep, because I'm an insomniac, and I get afraid to let my brain rest out of fear that I won't have that thought tomorrow morning. And so I constantly have to remind myself of that. I force myself to take my medications that I need to take by a specific time, so that I can actually try to make it to bed before 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Julie has to run.
All right, Julie. To make sure that we can get on IGTV, I think we all need to run. So we'll go ahead and just start with our final words of the night. Julie first, so she can go ahead and skip that.
Well, thank you very much. Oh gosh, I don't even have anything to say this time. Can you believe it? But I think I'll piggy off of what Shanell said about the cultivation, and I think a part of our theme for this entrepreneur journey is about planting seeds.
Yes.
And so, as long as you plant seeds, allow God to provide the necessary nutrients and the rain to water it the way that it needs to be.
It's awesome, Julie.
Agreed. Jeff?
I want to just say, first off, congrats to Julie. We're very proud of you. We're excited for your endeavor. We see the hard work you're doing. It is appreciated, and we wish you nothing but continued success. And we know you're going to be successful because you're successful in everything you do. So we respect you for that, and we just want to see you be the best you can be. All I really want to say is, whatever your dreams are, just go for them, because you never know what's going to happen. Life is tough. Life has twists and turns, but you have to go with the flow. And we said that before we started. When there's chaos, there's opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff. I always love this Tuesday night event that we do. It is as enlightening, and just want to add again that holistic piece. It is there. Jeff just said it. Life has twists and turns, and you learn how to rock and roll. And you learn how to deal with them. Whenever you start your entrepreneurial journey, it already says to you that you've got something different in you that's able to shift, adjust, be pliable, because you're not status quo. You're not just going for the regular. You're not just doing the norm. And I love what you said on the back end, Jeff. Our stuff comes on the back end. The word success, and this is where I'm gonna end that, fam. The word success, it doesn't just mean the expression of the materials of wealth and things of that nature. The word success means what comes next. Like a king picks a successor. What comes later, what comes after this. We get it back on the back end. That was awesome, Jeff.
I agree with you guys. I think the biggest thing to me is when you want to be an entrepreneur, it's more than just a bright idea, right? It has to be a dream, and that dream has to be your passion. If you don't combine the two, you're going to struggle along the way. You know, don't just jump out there all willy-nilly. Yeah, I borrowed that one from my grandma. But don't jump out there all willy-nilly into it. Your heart has to be into it. And no matter who the naysayers are, it won't shake you. You're going to do it. But don't try to do it just to prove to somebody else you can. Prove to yourself, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to accomplish. And then to get there, and nothing is overnight, although there have been people have things overnight, but it's not. And your desire has to be strong for that passion to continue on. Like Jeff says, it may take a month or 2, or 3 or 6, but it'll happen. You just don't give up. You know, nobody can make things better for yourself than you can. You know, and you just got to live with that idea. And so with that last word, everybody ready to say good night? Everybody have a great week. It's been awesome.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
What's
Good night,
leftovers,
everybody.
that is.